guys, even when we're in the hotel room. So I really feel like our energy, our awareness to the game has really changed for the better.
How?
Just taking it on defense, Everything starts on defense with us, Communication is key, and also just ball movement on the offensive end.
And in those spare moments in the hotel when you guys are talking about things, what are you talking about? Do you say like, hey, do you have those kind of conversations?
We have conversations about everything, whether it's about our favorite things, music, basketball, what we're trying to take away from another team, we just have all different kinds of conversations with us.
Good luck to you.
Thanks.
What's it like playing here in DC?
Oh, it's real nice, being here in the nation's capital. It feels good just to be here. Maybe you get lucky to see the president or something.
And how are you guys preparing for the game against Wisconsin?
We know that they're a veteran team. They know they want to play at their pace. We got to try and keep the game moving against them.
Thomas, it seems like when those threes are going in, you guys score a lot of points and win games. Let's talk about the effort you got from all the three-pointers tonight.
Oh man, it helped a lot because it all started on the defense. When we were active, getting stops, deflections out there on the defensive end, and we come down and move the ball, scoring cuts, and we get wide open threes like that. It starts to turn into win. It's much more fun. It feels like we're back in practice, knocking down shots, so it feels good.
What's been the difference? You guys have won 3 out of 4 now, and I think you've lost like 5 straight. What's been the difference in these wins?
Our urgency and our attention to detail, and really locking in on the defensive end. Like I said, everything starts on the defensive end. When we get stops down there, we know our offense will take care of itself.
How tough has it been on you guys? Because really, you guys started out so great. You really shouldn't even be in this situation, but you kind of got your backs to the wall, and you have to kind of win this thing to get an NCAA tournament.
We're not worried about that. We're just taking it one game at a time. We know what we have in front of us. We know what we have to do, so we're not stressing over it. We have to go out there and execute.
In a tournament setting like this, where you're playing back to back to back, how much does it help having this game to kind of launch you into a game like tomorrow, where Wisconsin was obviously not playing tonight? You guys got a little head of steam. How much does that kind of help going into tomorrow?
Well, it feels good because we're out there playing a game. We know how the courts are, we know how the rims are, we know how the basketballs are, and it gives us a little bit more momentum going into the game. Keep it on that hot streak instead of just being out there not playing. It feels good.
How valuable were the freshmen tonight? It just seemed like Duran kind of buoyed you guys earlier, and Josh had some foul trouble. Devontae comes in. How much you guys kind of look to those guys and say, okay, the freshmen are coming in, we're not going to miss a beat. These guys kind of.
Oh, we look to them a lot. From the start. Those freshmen came in and helped us a lot. Just knocking down shots, defense, whatever it was. They went out there and did it. And it's real good when you have other guys that can come in or have been in and just count on them to go out there and execute for you. It feels good.
What's been you guys have lost twice to Wisconsin. Played them. They kind of got you in Bloomington, but yeah, you played them pretty well at Madison. What do you guys got to do tomorrow to get this victory?
We just got to stick to the personnel. We know what we have in front of us. We know that they're a veteran team. A very good team. And we have to be locked in all 40 minutes of the game. Because that they can get you at any time. So we all have to be locked in on the defensive end.
Northwestern beat them, and they double-teamed Happ inside, and ever since then, everybody's been double-teaming Happ. Is that something you guys might look at tomorrow to do to take away him?
Maybe. I don't know yet. So I don't know yet.
Seemed like a good idea, though.
Seemed like, yeah.
Just talk about your post defense on Cook. You were aggressive right from the start. Was that something that you saw that you thought you could take away with him?
No, I saw Cook was throughout these games that led up to this one. He was getting down there, just running the floor very hard and sealing everybody down there on the edge, like right there in the middle of the rim, under the rim. So our key vocal was just to get down there, beat him to a spot. Make it difficult for him to get the shots up because we saw that nobody was really making it that much difficult for him. So that was our key point right there.
If you took the first half against Ohio State and the second half tonight, that'd be a pretty good game, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Was the second half as well as you think you guys have played?
Today? I feel like it was a pretty good step moving forward, with our offense. But like I said, it all started on the defensive end.
How much have you seen Duran improve from your vantage point from the beginning of the season to now?
I've seen him improve so much, from just the start of the season when he was huffing and puffing up and down the court to where Now I see him, he's going out there making plays, scoring, passing the ball. He has great footwork down there in the low post as well. And I see him starting to be more aggressive, and having more confidence in his game.
What do you think the biggest difference was? It was you guys were up by 3 at halftime, and Iowa's fighting back. What got you off to that good start in the second half, and what was the biggest difference you think?
We knew that they were going to come out with a big punch. They're going to try and punch us in the mouth. We had to withstand that, and luckily we did. We know we had, when they give us a punch, we had to punch right back at them. So that really helped because we all stayed together and kept telling each other just push through it, push through it.
What was different this time with Jock compared to the first time?
Just playing them a little bit different, just everybody just locked into the film and just saw like, we can take this away from them instead of doing this, that was really helpful for us because, in that game, in that time we practiced, and walked through, we were really engaged with it, because we knew that he was a real big key point for Iowa.
Seems like you talk about you guys being locked in. Is there something you can put your finger on that's the difference, or what made you guys more locked in maybe tonight than some other nights this year?
I think really because it was do or die, because you don't want to go home, you want to win, and when you know that when you lose and you go home and that's it, that brings much more motivation to the team, especially with a team like us who's been going through so much adversity, and keep coming together each and every day, it feels good.
How different does that make it coming into this versus like last year when you guys were the #1 seed and kind of had maybe some of those expectations or pressure? This year, maybe a nothing to lose kind of situation?
I think it was like a little bit more motivation this time, but I wouldn't say too much about that, it was just all of us being more engaged with this one. I could feel it, everybody was more engaged and more attention to detail.
That's what it looked like. It looked like guys were more into it. The guy's going to stop, or he's going to turn over, making an extra pass. It just seemed like everybody was more on the same page.
Oh yeah, because we've been preaching it ever since we've been in practice, for the longest. One more pass and just being more engaged on the defensive end. So it really helped us a lot.